Okay, Thursday, April the 11th, 2024. Almost a month since my last walk once again. Usual reasons: rain, wind, train strikes. And the reliable Met have now confirmed what I previously said, that the 18 months to the end of March have been the wettest on record. So that's pretty much what I've mentioned over this winter. Never known one like it. Anyway, today I'm up in the East Midlands, unusually, Market Harborough, to do a circular of around 11 miles. Time I've gone from the station. It's a country walking magazine walk of around 9.7 miles, but I've got to get to the Union Wharf. It's predominantly a canal side walk today, which interestingly encircles a prison, a high security men's prison, Gartree. So yeah, better watch me step. Grey day, but as I say, it's unusually not rainy and not too windy. So that's a good start. I don't very often travel on East Midlands Railway, but this train today was 6 minutes late, and yeah, no technology on board, can't recharge your phones, etc. So a bit antiquated. But anyway, it's 12:15, probably around 4.5–5 hours walking. Let's see how my fitness goes, because as I say, I'm a bit rusty around the old joints, but it's level, which is partly why I've chosen the walk today. Let's press on. Okay, about 5 minutes in, down in the town centre now. Bit of residential walking prior. Mine would journey straight ahead there by the church. That is the old grammar school next to the church. Okay, this is the start of the walk per the GP X-Track, Union Wharf car park, which is about a mile from the station. So I've just been told by my phone. There you go. So here we go, as you can see, former warehouse, now flats conversion. Union Wharf gives it away a bit. Grand Union Canal link here to Harborough. Can't remember why that link was made, what the local produce was, so to speak. An information panel here about 200 years of service. 1809 to Leicestershire and Northamptonshire, Union Canal open to Market Harborough. You can Google that for more info. Doing this in a clockwise direction. I haven't seen one of these previously. British Waterways water point. Good to hear that the old chiff chaff's up here as well. Pretty much widespread in the last month since my first hearing a month back. A lot's gone on. That's why it annoys me, my favourite season rapidly disappearing. Like I'm presently walking on the newly restored bit of towpath. This path was shut for a few months over the winter, so I read. So I do a left here, branching off the towpath, but I will be coming back that way later, through some more residential. Okay, about 2.5 miles in now, and we finally get out into the countryside, I do believe. Busy A road down there to contend with, but as you can see, no more built up area, I think. New housing for a good chunk of the last mile. Grates it there in the background. Dunnock Usual contenders this time of year. Having crossed the road, first stile of the day and the first bit of water to contend with. That clever, barbed wire on the post where 9 times out of 10 you'd put your hand. Last time I was up in Leicestershire I was not impressed with their rights of way footpath maintenance. Let's see how this turns out today. Some heavy horses there of some type. Now walking through the village of Lubenham with its war memorial here. The memorial gardens, I'm reliably told by a gentleman cutting the grass at the moment, as you can now hear. And as you can see, we've got some sunshine, which wasn't forecast. So it was, due to be a cloudy afternoon, but lucky, just as I was on my last walk down in Lim. And amongst these, this is a memorial garden to these that died in the wars. And amongst the unfortunates, God rest their souls, was a captain who was crushed between 2 tanks. George Michael Alexander Werner. So what a way to go. Friendly fire, but crushed between 2 tanks. And the coach and horses, which has got an interesting story behind it if you want to research that on Google. This village apparently was the start of the National Hunt racing. So the gardener was just telling me there. There we go. Another little memorial garden. Information panel about the Lubenham Heritage Trail. Passing through Lubenham's wreck. You know, great tit in the background there. Picnic tables as well, but it's too early in the route for me. And a cow, I wonder what the livestock are. Yeah, the dung and hoof prints indicate it was cattle, but none in the field today, thankfully. One of the high points of the walk now, approaching 400 feet. And ahead of me, across this ploughed field, is the high security men's prison, Gartree, which has some film history behind it, so that gentleman was telling me, possibly featured in the Great Escape. Unsure about that, but you can Google that and find out. Blue tip behind me. Into sheep country now. I bet they're hot in those coats. Certainly a lovely afternoon now. Wasn't anticipated. Okay, I've come off the GPX track slightly to have my lunch here in the village of Foxton. This is St Andrew's Church. I'm hoping there's some seats. There's a pub option as well, the Black Horse. But I should have passed the locks first, but I'm going to do them after, because it's now 2 o'clock and I need replenishing. There is at least one seat in the shade here, and there's the Black Horse opposite with a decent vista. As I say, we're about 400 foot up at this point, high point of the walk. And as I said earlier, a very pleasant afternoon. Around 20 degrees, believe it or not. Slightly cooled by the breeze. Westerly today. No seats round the back in the sun, unfortunately. confirmation of the time. Now I might be able to get in this one. I haven't tested this camera internally yet. So here we are. Amazingly bright in here, due to those higher windows, I think. St Andrews, Foxton. With the organ on my left here. Yeah, although this camera doesn't have a flash that I'm aware of, it seems to film inside here much clearer than the old camera. Although, how does it handle the roof? Yeah, possibly not as well. Nice leaded window. And the view back from the pulpit. Yeah, I'm not getting the roof like I used to. The beam work. I suppose if I zoom in I might. Yeah, that does it. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty sharp. Okay, let's get one of those two seats outside. There are two. And have lunch. And talking of which, there's a dining area in here. So if it was raining, I could have come in and eaten in here. Nice little storm porch. Reminders of COVID there with the sanitizer, which I always have with me anyway. Need it for lunch, really. So I'm going to take this one in loving memory of Mr. Goodman, who died in '76. Rest in peace. And it's about 2:05 now. Well, in fact, it's 3:15 actually. Tempus fugit. So 3:15, lunch has been had. Let's get back on down to Foxton Locks now and back on the GPX track. Actually get a better view of the church from outside it. St Andrews, Foxton. Now coming up to the Foxton Locks Inn, which is very popular. School holidays at the moment. Here are the locks. Reminds me of the ones down in Devizes on the Kennet. Yeah, nice little area. Nice garden to the rear. My onward journey is down there on the left bank. Information panel here about this junction on the side of the pub. 1894, Foxton Locks was the junction of two canals, so a good toll collecting point. You can read more about this online, I'm pretty sure. Foxton Locks. swing bridge, leaving Foxton locks behind me now. Somebody's damaged the crash barrier there. Work party are out ready to repair it. Another canal side pub coming up shortly, just past this bridge. We're now back in Foxton, where I had my lunch a little while back, and as you can see from that riverbank, this is a well maintained canal. I haven't seen any blockages so far. The canal is actually a strange colour today, but there is life in it. I was watching the Great Stink at the weekend on Channel 5. Very similar to what's going on with the rivers at the moment in terms of sewerage. We've got all this modern technology, and yet people are still getting E. coli, etc. Cholera. Might not have the smell to go with it like they did in the 1850s, but it's an atrocious situation nonetheless. There is the church on the horizon there. Another little swing bridge here as we leave Foxton now. Going under number 5, Clark's Bridge. Good to see they've left some rush here for whatever reason. Believe that to be a white throat. Of course, they've arrived in the last month as well. Along with the black caps, though I haven't heard any up here yet. On my left as I walk, agricultural land, and as you can see, this canal is quite high relative to the surrounding land. There's a larger width turning point here, or waiting point, because obviously you can only get one barge at a time past this section of reed. I'd imagine that's what that's for. Very large field here being crop sprayed, and a recent report on the radio I heard the other day spoke about the chemicals in our food. Nothing new to me, but it's been going on for years, which is why I tend to eat organic where I can. Yeah, shocking. World is ruined. Interesting, I didn't realise we were on the NCN, but this appears to be 6. There was a time when you couldn't cycle on the canal towpaths. Needed permission from the Canal and Waterways Trust. Harborough now 4 mile, Northampton 22, Leicester 23, Foxton 1.25 miles. Old Union Canal, Harborough Arm. Yeah. That looks like number 9, Sedgley's Bridge. But I haven't seen 3 bridges since the last one. Must have come down over time. And bang on cue in the background, the song thrush is out. Just gone 4 o'clock. So I've noticed that in the past and commented on it. Seems to be around this time that they start singing. nuthatch somewhere over there. I do believe, anyway. Could be one of those warblers. I have confused those before. Garden warbler, I think it is. Yeah, more likely. I was just going to say, very pleasant section of canal walking at the moment. Very peaceful. Tree lined on both sides because, as I mentioned earlier, we are quite high here. Good windbreak, about 300 foot on the ridge. So it probably needed trees. Wonderful. I'm now back on the fringes of Market Harborough, back on the newly refurbished section of towpath, and it's good to see that they've planted new hedgerow whilst doing it. Wonderful. There is information here about the hedge laying improvements, and I did notice some natural hedge construction there as well. Wattle, that sort of thing. Yeah, all to do with this new housing estate as well, which I walked past earlier from the other side. Jackdaw nest over there, just flown out. And you can hear it now. An example of the traditional hedge laying. Hawthorn, usually sliced at the base and then put on its side so that the branches grow upwards, apparently. And opposite, some very grand houses on my left. Guess that's got to be one of the most prestigious roads in Market Harborough. I might be wrong, but I'm sure someone will tell me. This is where I branched off earlier. So henceforth is duplication. So here we are, 4 hours 40 later, and almost 13 miles. So although it was a 9.7 miles walk, I've added that extra couple of mile on by walking from the station here. Very good walk, enjoyed that. A bit further than I wanted to go though, so the old joints ache a bit, but it was level, so that's the main thing. So that's Country Walking Magazine's, what was the title called? Market Harborough completed. Weather turned out better than anticipated, and pretty decent underfoot, so a good return. And let's hope they can be more consistent now as we approach late spring, early summer. Till the next time.